Yeah, I thought the key was just our activity level on defense. I mean, I just told him I thought we had stretches where we were pretty good on offense, and overall we did some really good things on offense, but it was a little bit uneven on that end. But I thought we talked about, combining scout defense with just activity level and playing hard, and I felt like that was probably the best game that we've had all year in terms of doing both. We weren't perfect, but again, and some of it had to do with Providence's shot making, but they went from scoring 80 at their place to 49 tonight, and I just thought, we preached, yes, be conscious of what our scout details are, but also just play hard and be active and make plays, and I thought we did, and that, and that allowed us to, we turned the ball over way too much in the first quarter, but it allowed us to be in the game, even doing that, and then in the second quarter we kind of opened things up, so it was fun to play from the lead. I thought, Liz was great. Grace has, gotten fouled, boom, 2-3. But Liz has practiced the right way. She's practiced well, and I'm glad to see her play as well as she did. And, I had a difficult choice on the technical free throws. Ava's our percentage leader on the season, but she had missed 1 tonight, and Kennedy was 2 for 2. And, I'm kind of regretting that I didn't pick the senior.
Hey, if she wouldn't have made them both, I would have made a big deal about it, but they both went in.
But we had a lot of people do some things. I mean, in Neely's absence, I mean, I think, that's a great testament to our team that we could go on the road and play as well as we did at Butler and win that game without her, and then to do it again tonight.
Questions for the student athletes? It's gave up 80 to them at their place. How did you flip it around defensively this time around?
Yeah, I feel like we prepped for them a lot this week, just focusing on really being disruptive on defense. We really focused on being in the gap, which is, I think, something we didn't focus the first time we were there. So I thought we just prepared the right way this week, and we really had a solid game plan, and I thought we executed it really well.
Ava, you got basically punched in the face. How important is it for you guys to just stay playing until the whistle?
I think it's very important just because we can't let those little things impact us too much. It's just you got to just keep playing when things don't go our way exactly, or when things do go our way.
Little things, getting punched.
How did it feel to play as well as you did in your last game here at Socorro?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely sad. I think, I'm looking up in the stands. My mom's crying before the game even started. I'm like, all right, can we tighten up a little bit? Oh my God. But no, it was awesome. And I had a lot of professors that were front row. That was so cool. And it's just, Creighton's such a special place. And I'm just glad I got to leave on a win. So, yeah.
Maybe what does it mean to you to send out the seniors with a game like this?
Yeah, I think it's really important because the seniors they're just such great leaders, such great people. So I think it's really important that we send them off in a good way. And, exactly.
What are some of your favorite memories inside this building?
Oh, man. Got a lot of them. I just think, obviously we've had a ton of really good wins, and a ton of them can stick out just when I'm thinking about them. But I just think the growth that I've had as a player and as a person, and just little moments hanging out in the offices upstairs, or just little locker room moments, that stuff makes a team, and that's what's so special, and that's what I'm really going to miss about this place is just the amazing people, and how people show up every day, and people are just a joy to be around here, and I just don't think you get that everywhere. And it's just such a great program, and it's not the wins and losses that make your experience. I mean, winning's fun, don't get me wrong, but just meeting your best friends, and even though this year has been some bumps in the road, I still think we've managed to persevere, and we're trending in the right direction, which is always a good sign at the end of the year. So.
They missed a lot of shots. How important was team rebounding today, especially with Grace in foul trouble early?
Yeah, I think Flan was said that she's averaging how many rebounds per 40 minutes, Flan?
15.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. So we know we're not the biggest team, so just making sure that all 5 of us are rebounding, and we weren't perfect, and some teams are going to expose that as well, and I think Providence did as well. We know they're going to go to the glass, but I thought we did a good job down the stretch of everyone rebounding as a unit, all 5 of us.
What are some of your best memories from your first season inside Socorro?
Best memories. I'd say the Marquette one was.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Got to be a big one, but just like the little things, just spending each game and just playing with my teammates, and that's something I always remember.
What did it take to pull them throughout the whole 40 minutes below 30%?
Yeah. Well, I thought we were pretty attentive to personnel. I mean, I thought we lost 21 a couple times, and she's lethal. But for the most part, the players that we wanted to take threes were taking threes. And at their place, they were 8 of 14. I mean, they're not a great three-point shooting team. They were 8 of 14, and so some of it was their shot making. I thought our defense was good, and we were active and made plays, and I thought we, Gay, number 0, like she was better the first time we played them, and so was Gormley 3. They were both probably better than what I had seen on, just when you see somebody live, you're like, okay, she's even quicker than I thought, and so I think just the adjustment of giving those guys a little bit more cushion, especially was key, and then like Liz said, just being a little bit more gap conscious and making them have to, making driving lanes just a little bit smaller based on how shifty both those guys are. I mean, Gormley and Gay had 22 and 21 against us at their place. So, and tonight they weren't even close to that. And so some of that's for sure on-ball defense, just adjusting to how quick they are, but a lot of it's just that one pass away gap defense where we just were a little bit more attentive to how much those two especially want to get downhill.
What do you think of Ava's performance offensively?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I thought she's so good in transition and with those one-legged finishes, so she can read kind of down the lane line. And, when I was growing up, you had to shoot a right-handed layup off your left leg and a left-handed layup off your right leg. And these players nowadays, they can go in with either leg and either hand, and because they work on it, when they're 12 and 13 up to now. And then she shot the three. Tonight she wasn't, but she shot the three better in games. And, I don't want to tell you what she shoots in practice, but her three-point percentage in practice is significantly lower than it is in games. And that's unusual because usually the game lights come on and you don't shoot it quite as well from the three, but she's been kind of the opposite that way. But and then she draws fouls, which she draws 7 tonight, and she gets to the free throw line. I mean, we haven't had. I'm trying to think of a player who's been as good at getting to the free throw line as Ava, and I can't in my time. We're such a three-point heavy team. We really haven't had, especially a guard that's been that, good at drawing fouls and getting to the free throw line, and then she's mid to high 80s when she gets there.
Flan, I brought Liz back here because I thought she was so impactful in the second quarter when you lost Grace.
Yeah.
And not necessarily on the scoreboard, just her ability to help keep you in the game.
Yeah.
And play some of her best basketball this year.
Yeah, I'm happy for her because, like I said, she's practiced well. I think when we didn't start her after starting her, there's and even if you try to lay out why is it, we got to be a little bit better ball handling because we're playing all these freshman ball handlers, so we need. It's still a little bit of a shot to your confidence, and I feel like that was a little bit of a barrier, but she has continued to practice the right way, and really I feel like the last couple of weeks she's practiced the right way. It's part of it is Grace has played so well. It's been harder to take her off the floor, but so I'm happy for Liz because, like I said, I think she comes to practice every day. She plays really hard, I was a little worried that Grace had 3 that early because I felt like it was going to be a long time to play Liz, but she's in good shape, and I thought to your point, I thought she was really impactful in terms of, and the one thing she can do that Grace can't do is make a 3, not that, but she's you know, she's made enough threes this year that it does help our spacing actually a little bit better offensively. And so I think, you know, when you look at are we going to be able to cut more with our other players when Liz is on the floor? The answer is yes, because usually Grace's player is off protecting the paint a little bit more than when Liz is in there.
And then, go ahead.
I know we were talking about this before, but just last home game at Sokol, what are you
Yeah.
taking away from this team and then especially for the seniors?
Yeah, I said I'm happy for them and I just have so much respect for them because I think, you know, we had a really big and special senior class last year and, you know, very accomplished, very decorated, all, you know, 2,000-point scorers and, you know, everybody kind of got to know them and you know, for Keani and Kennedy, they were kind of that bridge, you know, to the next group but are very good players. And I said that in the fall. I said, you know, I knew they were good players. They're probably a little better players than I thought even because I felt like they were going to be good expanding in their role, you know, this year. And you see that with Kennedy. Like she's expanded her role. She's become a, you know, I mean, her left-hand finishes, her ability to play off the ball. And I think we would have seen that with Keani had it not. But Keani's been incredible in terms of not pouting and not, you know, she's always in a great mood in practice. And then Grace has fit in really seamlessly, a good leader. Really, her volume is like no other probably that we've ever had, which is a good thing. So I have a lot of respect for him because you know, it's tough when you're counting on that many young players to win, and it's your senior year. Okay, how do I push them without being too negative, but also how do I make sure that they know that the standards that they played with a year ago probably aren't going to help us win Division I basketball games this year, and they're, you know, and so that process isn't easy to navigate of being critical enough that those guys understand the urgency, but also continuing to build them up because we couldn't win without our freshmen, and yet there were times where you're like, yeah, she still has too many freshman habits, and I have a lot of respect for the way they all kind of navigated that and pushed them to be as good as they could be, and then were good themselves. You know, I mean, you look at what. I know tonight aside, great because of foul trouble, but Grace has gotten better over the course of the season as she's gotten healthier and she's got acclimated to how we do things. Like, you know, you're wishing you had her for another year, and you know, I remember a couple of years ago I said something about, God, I kind of wish we would redshirt Kennedy just because I think she's a really good player. She's just not quite as good as Lauren Jensen and Molly Mogensen, and who are, you know, but and to have her for one more year, and that's a compliment to her because she's super, and they're all just so coachable.
How do you see the team grow in its ability to protect home court throughout the season?
Yeah, we definitely became a better home court team, and I want to credit our fans because I feel like they. You know, I do these chalk talks before the game, not every game, but a decent number of games. And, you know, about a month ago, I was kind of apologizing because we weren't winning enough compared to what we've won. And somebody raises their hand and says, Flan, don't apologize. We love this group. And I just think that's, you know, like you watch Ava play and just how, yeah, she's going to make mistakes, but her mistakes are all-out mistakes. And, you know, Kendall kind of the same way. I mean, just so I think the growth, and then, you know, and Liz and Al, you know, Al had 8 defensive rebounds tonight. She guarded the other team's best player, so she didn't score it, but she did a lot of good things. So I think, yeah, I wish we had won a few more games, but I'm really happy with the progress that this team made. I think if you look and you said, you know, my daughter who knows nothing about basketball, we were talking a while back, and I said, do you have any idea what our record is? And she's like, I don't know, 10-8. And at that time we were 8-12, and now we're, 14-14. And so I just think it shows that my daughter didn't know anything, but also that we've gotten a lot better.